All right, so step one is actually just getting a ridge line set up. So see here, we've just got the bowline, which is tied through with the marlin spike hitch and a toggle. And then over here, we've got our prussics tied through our toggle, and then a trucker's hitch on this end. We're gonna move that around, and we're gonna set up our ground sheet, and we're gonna wait for the rain. So while I was waiting for the storm to blow in, which it seems to be getting ready to do now, I got bored and I got some punk wood in my spice kit, and I used my silky saw as a striker with my ferro rod, and as you can see, we've got embers going. So I'm not going to use that today, but very cool to know that that will work just as well as a striker does. So there's my pile of shavings. Been here since 8:30 in the morning. It's almost 11:30 now. We were supposed to get rain starting at 9. Get a little bit of a sprinkle, but nothing that I would really consider to be a challenge for these conditions. Everything's still really dry. So we'll hang out for a little bit and see what happens. So I don't know if you can hear it, but it is officially raining now. So I got these shavings together because honestly, unless it rained for like days and days and days, the result of these shavings was going to be the same. It was the heartwood of, I think, what was white oak. So that should be plenty to get it started. And I'm going to wait just a little bit longer so that some of the stuff is at least a little bit damp. So we don't have a ton of tree cover where I am right now. Obviously, I processed all of my wood underneath a tarp. This is all for later once I get the initial challenge started, so I'm not using any split wood right now. I'm just kind of assuming that I have a knife and a match, and I'm going into the woods to start that. So We're gonna see if it gets wet enough for this to be a real challenge. So I'll check back with you here in just a little bit. Hard to do with one hand, but there goes the shavings. This is the first round of kindling. Again, the woods aren't soaked by any means, but I've been waiting like 4 hours for it to rain at all. Eventually I gotta go do other stuff. And this was with a very basic waterproof safety match. Not a very good one. Nothing that I would really use if it was going to be windy. So again, with a tripod, you'd be able to see me strike it and get that whole thing started. But here goes this part. Add some fuel to the fire. And that is my submission for the one stick or the one match fire in the rain. All right, so my second fire had to be further away from my tarp because the first one just went way up. I had to move my prusik nuts pretty quickly to keep it from burning the tarp. So I just decided to throw a bunch of oak a little bit further away from the tarp. And the woods are officially wet. So I consider this a win.